So I wanted to show you a couple examples of how to calculate the standard deviation by hand. So for this first example, we're just doing it in a Word document, and the next one we'll do in Excel. With the data set that I calculated to have a mean of 10. So here's the table with all the observations, which are x's, and then here's the formula for the sample standard deviation. So for the first, we want to remember to take x, which is the observation, minus the mean, and square that result, and divide by n minus 1, which is the sample size minus 1, and then square that whole thing. So let's first start with the numerator. So we have 6 for the first observation, minus the mean, which is 10, square that whole thing, so we have 6. Let's switch it up. We have 6 minus 10, which is going to get -4, and I put it in parentheses because we're squaring the whole thing, and we get a positive number. So -4 squared is just 16. And then now we have 9 minus the mean is 10, square. 9 minus 10 is -1, and square that, and we just get 1. And now we have 13 minus 10, square, equals, then we have 3. I'm putting it outside the parentheses, no parentheses around it because it's already positive. So square that, and we get 9. And we have 15 minus 10, square that, and we have 5 squared, which gets us 25. And then last 7 minus 10, and that's squared. And that gives us -3, square that, and we get 9. And if you use a calculator and sum them all up, we get 16 plus 1 plus 9 plus 25 plus 9 gets us a sum of 60. So now, I'm just going to highlight this formula. So now we have our numerator to be 60. And our n in this case is our sample size. So we have 5. Wait, 1, 2, 3. Yes, 5. And so 5 minus 1 is 4. So this is just going to equal, under the square root, we're just going to have square root of 15. So we can just use a simple calculator. And if you type 15 and then square root it, we get 3.873. So that's our answer, 3.873. So that's just by hand. Now we can use Excel to help with some of the calculations. So let's open up Excel. Let me get this screen to be a little bigger. Hang on a minute. Okay, it's a little bigger. So here's a different data set where I already calculated the mean to be 22, and we're going to do the same thing as we did before, where we take the observation minus the mean and square that result, and then we will divide by n minus 1 and square root that whole thing. So let's start with the numerator again. So if we do equals parentheses, then we do 12, we click it this time, minus the mean, which is 22, and then you can use the caret, which is above the 6, to square and push enter. So to check this, we're going to have 12 minus 22, which is -10, and then square that. That gives us 100. So Excel did the job for us. So in Excel, you don't actually have to do this all the time. You can just drag the caret, but I'm going to move this up because I'm afraid it will affect that. So again, you can just grab this caret and drag it down, and that gives us all. And we can check the last observation just to see if it worked. So what we would have is 23 minus the mean is 22, and we get -1 and square that, and we have 1. So to sum this, all you have to do is click auto sum, and that sums all of the observations. In our next step, then we have to do is, let's just write the formula again. So it's S equals the square root of what we just found, the numerator. So we have 154 divided by, we have n minus 1, and in this case we have 6 observations. So 6 minus 1 is 5. So to do that, let's just, this won't actually calculate, we have to have the equal sign. So equals square root, parentheses, 154 divided by 5. And our answer is 5.5498. That's our standard deviation. So for both of these, you can verify in StatCrunch, but these are two ways to calculate the sample standard deviation.